Ozbay Fluid Mechanics, Project 3. Well, for this, you want to go here, grab your Fluid and Flow Flux, right click Geometry, and do New Design Module, yeah. Then go to Z, hit the Z, go sketching, do a line, and you want to make a design process like this. You want to go like, not that fast, but you want to make 4 lines, and you want to make it look right about like this. And this is the most important part. The reason we're about to do this is so we can get the dimensions perfect, but because Ozbay gives you certain dimensions it needs to be. So make sure you go to dimensions to get the horizontal parts here and drag them out. And then we're going to do vertical, so start the line to the center. This can work. And then small part to the center. Go to units, do inches. Ozbay tells us to do this. So this is what we're going to do right now. So my values is 15 for the first one. And it was 24, 12, 42, 11, and 3. Sometimes a stupid thing happens where it goes like that. And because we have to do the angle anyway, grab these two sides and hold it back. So if your angle doesn't be knowing like mine, just try it again. Go touch the two sides and drag it out like that. There you go. And depending on what it looks like, I do 177 because it looks like that. Sometimes it'd be a pain, but it works perfectly right there. Alright, here is the important part. Normally this gets complicated sometimes. Go to box select, grab it, then we can go to replicate, do 180. And before you even place it, tap it in the center. Because if you tap it in the center, when you do the flip horizontal, and you double tap it, it'll do it perfectly for you. That is the easiest way to do it. Then all you gotta do is make the lines like this, lines like this, and then we're gonna do concept, surface and sketches, box select, drag it, up, apply, and generate. So we're actually gonna try that again. So surface sketches, box select, grab that, apply, and generate. So it looks like the problem here could be that, yep, there you go. You need to make sure, which I messed this up. Glad I see this now, because sometimes you might do guys involved in this. You want to make sure you connect it all. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and try this again. So go back to, so what I'm going to do is go back to concepts, surface sketches, box select. I would delete both of these. If this ever happens. Do box select, grab it, apply, and then try to generate. And there you go. So the moral of this story is make sure that you have it all connected. Workbench, and always make sure you update after everyone. Now we're going to the messy part, the mesh. I will give you guys a warning for this. You will probably come up to a situation where it might take a while, and that is why we are going to make sure we have the correct units. So once this loads, you're going to hit Z. And it's important for this, you make sure you have meters on this. So the first we're going to do is something most people forget to do is name the sides. So take the left side and name it inlet. You do that by right clicking and doing name selection. This is very important because if you don't do this, especially now, because if you don't do it now, you might forget. You're not going to be able to modify the sides and update your data charts and conquer the perfect way you want. So just name the top wall, the right side outlet, the left side inlet, and we're going to name the bottom part bottom wall. I know, very creative. Alright, once that's done, you can check that. Then you go to mesh, insert, and sizing. We're going to do this left side first. So always hit apply. Then we're going to do number of divisions. We're going to do 1,500, just so we get the perfect amount. Very important to do this. Always make sure this is hard, or else your graph won't work. And then you're going to hit generate. This might take some time, so I'm probably going to have this run up so you guys can keep this going while you do it, so you don't have to stress about stopping and starting the whole time. Alright, perfect enough. Now you're going to go to the right side. You're going to do mesh. That's, by the way, that's what your mesh supposed to look like. Insert, another sizing. See how that's selected? That's perfect. Now you're going to do number of divisions and do 1,000. Exact same thing. 1,500, no. Hard, and generate. And again, like I said, this might take a while. The one that's going to take the longest is going to be coming up right here, right after this. Sorry about that. All right. All right. So what you're gonna do with this is now is you're gonna. This is where the fun part. You're gonna right click, insert mesh, and you want your meshes like that. Hit sizing, hit that, hit apply. And this one we're gonna do something different. So we're gonna do 0.01, and you want to make sure that looks like that. And do no again, and do hard. This one will probably take the most time, so if it's taking a while, don't rush it. But make sure it's in meters, because if it's in centimeters instead of meters, then it'll probably crash your computer because you gotta do so much. Right, so yeah, like I said, normally this is the longest, but this is what you want it to look like. So if that's good, you go back on here, file, close mesh. And then after it closes, you do a right click, update. You always want to make sure you update it. My computer's been kind of slow from running stuff. All right, now go to setup. And keep everything the same this time. Most time you gotta change it, not this time. Alright. So just like the regular graphs, you want to see both of these lines. If you do that, that means what you did is perfect. And then go to OK. Okay. And just like most of them, you go to models, go to viscous, and put it to Lammer. And shockingly for most of this, you're not going to do a whole lot different. You're just going to double check everything. Yep, that's good. And then you go boundaries. Now, the only thing you're going to change with this is you're going to hit inlet velocity. And there is a formula you are given. About this. So you do that times your frequency minus that. And for this one, you're going to go back to this. And for what we got in this, is I got to go double check my notes. But one of the things, the numbers I got for this is 2. Let me write the types down. 2.61387. That's because I did 40. Well, obviously you're doing a different project. Obviously it's different. Close. Then all you really need to do after this is go to insulate and hit insulate and then run your calculations. I will recommend this very much for your project is do 300 and hit calculate. And you just gotta let it run. I personally did 300 because it makes your graph look perfect. I guess did Ozbay tell us we have to do a certain amount? Nope. But 30 is about what the graph should be looking like. Alright. After this, so we're going to do a few things here. First, you're going to do your contours, and we're going to do a couple of different type of contours here. The first one we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go to pressure, static pressure, and we're going to do the surface. And you're going to hit save and display and compute. And this is what you want it to look like. I would recommend taking a picture of every single one of this just in case you want to go and put this on. So we're going to do a couple more, so double click it again. And it says static pressure, you want to do dynamic pressure. Hit the body again, display, and conquer. And then next one we're going to do the velocity one, so go to conquer again. Do velocity magnitude, and then you want to look like this. Pick out like the blue outside. And then finally, your last one you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and do total pressure. So pressure, total, same display. Sorry, let me hit that. Same display, compute, and close. Now, here comes your graphs. I'm going to so there's a certain thing you're going to make. You got pressure, we're going to do static, dynamic, total, and you're going to do velocity. But for this, we are going to go ahead and do new services, line/rake. You want to do line tool. You want to name this center. You'll be using center for every single one of your graphs. So this is very important. You have to do this or else your plots will not work. And then we are going to go ahead and take this. Double check everything's alright. We want to make sure you start at 2.36 for this one because that's where most of your things are. So if you want to use static pressure, you do this. And you do save and plot. Okay. Then you want to do velocity, you do velocity, magnitude, save and plot. For dynamic, you don't do that. Dynamic, pressure, save and plot, and for total, save and plot. Now, if you want to save this, which you need to, you do write and file, then do this, and it'll give you an option like this. Then you go to the Notes app because it'll open up Notes. Just take it all. Now, this is what it's supposed to do. Okay, so almost none of the videos are going to show you this, but I'm going to show you. So you got the meters, velocity, statics, dynamics, and total. You want to take this and make all the 300 points. You're going to double click this, insert, box. You're going to hit this, okay. And as long as you have 300 points, this is what you want to look like: velocity, dynamic, static, and total. And that is how you do your project.